There, Yutaka Nakamura is one of them, so there's Utapon cubes at the end of this one too. But it's the fight scene between Mob and Koyama from season 1 of Mob Psycho 100.
Here's another show I never watched.
God. Welcome back to the Anime Summit Podcast. It's your favorite host with the most, Som the Bomb, and with me every week, of course, is Danny.
Dead Scream.
And
Oh.
Knock is not here because
he's a bitch.
He's a bitch, and he's on the toilet. We can get him off the toilet. He was eating too many brown foods.
His legs just went numb for just sitting on the toilet for too long.
He messaged us. He was like, "I can't get off.
I can't get up."
No, he's going on vacation, and he just needed time this week to prep for vacation and stuff. So he's heading out of town to go I think he's going on a road trip with some friends, which is like the perfect time for it because it's getting warmer out and whatever, dude. So
it's like 70 down here.
Lucky.
Yeah.
That's like the 70s, 60s is like the perfect for me. Like that's
yeah.
But like, yeah, dude, I can't believe it's already March.
I know my birthday is coming. It's coming Sunday.
Okay, everybody buy Danny stuff. Because I didn't get her shit.
Just buy something off of Amazon. It'll get to me like within a day.
Yeah, dude. Happy birthday.
Thanks.
That being said, this week, and it kind of bums me out that Nick's not here because I feel like he would have nailed this topic.
Yeah.
And I didn't think to ask him, like, do you want us to postpone this topic? But he didn't seem to mind. So I don't know. I think it's fine because we can do this topic again because this isn't our top. This is another list episode, but it's not our top favorite stuff. But we're doing our top, well, not really necessarily a top, but some of our favorite Sakuga moments, animated moments. And I don't know why. I feel like now we've been podcasting long enough to be able to like tell what we like to see in animation in our favorite shows and stuff like that. And not even just necessarily our favorite shows, although all the shows I have listed are like shows I love. But like there's other shows that I love even more than these that have great moments, and I didn't choose them because I kind of wanted to curate my list to be like techniques that I like, animation techniques that I like. So it just happened to be like I thought of shows that like I like, you know what I mean? It was just
I just picked scenes that I thought were really cool.
Yeah, like these are scenes in particular that I like. Sometimes I think about them often, and I like go to YouTube just to watch them because I'm like, fuck, so that part is so sick, you know? But yeah, no, I totally get that. But yeah, dude, let's just jump right into it. Don't waste no time around here. Waste no time around here.
Ron chill.
Just doing a little trimming over here.
This is what happens when Sam and I are alone.
It's bad because we just say short phrases really goofy like that. But then when me and Nick are doing an episode, the whole time we're just going, skip it up. Nick, would you sit by my friend every 10 minutes? Every 5 minutes, I went, skip it up. And then when it's you and Nick, you're just like, oh, Sam's not here, say whatever we want.
Yeah, Nick usually says that.
And then you just laugh nervously because you're like, ah.
Yeah, I'm just like, great, awesome. This is gonna be a disaster.
Nah, dude.
And even though it ends up not being a disaster when it's just me and Nick.
Like, yeah, no, it ends up being great. It ends up being really fun.
It's the beginning that's the rough start, like to start it and stuff is really rough.
Yeah, dude. No, and again, so like just like our OPs and EDs episodes, like there's just so many things that you could choose from. These are just some of our favorites, and we will absolutely do this episode again. And I'm finally happy that we're finally doing it, because obviously, I don't know why we didn't do it before, but like I think before also, I feel like I wouldn't have been as confident doing it like a couple years ago even.
Yeah.
Because I only started really getting into like the artists and animators, like following their work only in the last couple years. And so I think this is perfect. But I think even so, even if you don't know, you know, you still know what you like to see. So I think even for people who don't know that stuff, they're like, well, no, I still like it when this happened because that's really fucking cool. And I think this is like a topic that everyone can jump on anyway. It's like, you know, you remember that scene, right? You're just like, you're watching a show and you're like, man, that part when that fucking dude roundhouse the one monster in the face or something, you know what I mean? Like, just things like that. So, anyway, links.animesummit.net. Okay. That's where all the links are. So
the links are. Come hang out with us on Discord.
On the Discrods. That's where we are. We're chilling there, talking and yelling at each other and posting things to be like, hey, I found this box set of Blu-rays for this anime you like, spend $100, and then we are bad influences on each other. But yeah, dude, I'm excited because hopefully I'm getting this month my Wonder Egg Priority box set. And I also ordered some mango chutney with it. So, hell yeah. Let's fucking go, dude. Also, patreon.com/anime summit. If you're a patron, you get exclusive contents, vlogs, and podcasts and things like that. We do a thing on there called Solo Cast, where it's just one of us. It's just one host talking about stuff. That's pretty fun. And then there's a couple exclusive podcasts on there as well for you to check out. And then also just like vlogs and videos and things like that that I have unlisted or private on YouTube and only you guys can see. So, yeah, go ahead and check those out. But yeah, let's do it. Listener question of the week. I'll take this from Nick since he's not here.
He's a butt face.
He's a butt face. If you could erase one mal-listed genre from existence, which one would it be? Here's my answer right away.
That's by Gizmo.
That's by Gizmo. Shout out to patron Gizmo. I would not, because the genres on there are so broad.
Really?
Yeah, no, they're just way too broad.
Not even isekais?
No, because like there's isekais that I like. You know what I mean? So like
that's true.
Yeah, so like and they're just way too broad. If it were up to me, I would narrow it down to high school girl shows that are idol shows. That's what I would do. I was gonna
say, yeah.
Yeah, but that's
there is one.
It's too niche because like you can click on any of like the idol shows out there, and they all just say slice of life, and it's like, no, I love slice of life shows.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And it's so dumb. And then the themes listed are music and school. And I don't want to erase either of those because a lot of the shows I like take place in music and school. So like, you know, it's kind of stupid. So I wouldn't, honestly. And because if you're talking purely about Mal, I wouldn't. If you're talking about like, if I can think of a genre that like people do, I would say idol shows, because I think idol shows are, I think 90% of them are lame. 95% of them are lame.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would do. But if you're talking just Mal, I wouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, now that you put it that way, I can definitely see why not to like delete or erase any genre. I would say more so subgenres versus just like a certain genre, because exactly like how you explained it, you know, there are some like slice of lives that you like. So.
Right.
It's still a good question, though.
It is a really good question. I guess, I don't know. If I had to choose, God.
It's hard.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's hard.
If I had to choose, I guess I would choose slice of life since I don't like them as much as... I guess I could do sports since I don't watch, but I think that's a theme instead of a genre. I don't know. I guess, yeah, I don't know. That is tough. That is tough nuts. That is tough gazungus. I would say sports maybe, if that's like one on there. I just closed it, so I can't see, but yeah. That's a good question. Shit. Fuck you, Gizmo. Jeez. What the hell's wrong? Shit.
It was a good question that stumped us.
It was a great question, yeah. Okay, Danny. Waifu and his bando.
Waifu is Sakura Kinomoto, and husbando is Lee Shaoran from Cardcaptor Sakura.
Yeah, because Nick's not here, so we can choose one of our girly shows that we like.
Yeah.
Fuck you, boys drool. That's what we used to say. But, okay, look, when I was a young warthog, dude, that's what we said. We said if we always say, like, so, like, I used to only love cats when I was a kid. So anybody who, like, I used to get made fun of a lot for liking cats as, like, because I was a boy, right? So, like, back then they were like, oh, you're a boy who loves cats, you're a fucking weirdo, you know? And obviously I didn't know I knew I was a girl back then, but, like, not, you know, it wasn't okay, right? So, people thought I was they would make fun of me. So I'd always be like, well, cats rule and dogs drool. You know what I mean? That was like the saying. That was like the thing you did. It was like, oh, boys rule, girls drool. You know? Whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's corny.
I don't know. It's so funny that you say that because, like, I know so many masculine people who do have cats.
That's exactly what I fucking mean. Like, and I remember going, like, you know, being a high school, presenting as a high school boy, you know, when I was in high school, all of my male friends had cats and dogs or cats.
Yeah.
And they were more dog. Some of those people were more dog people, but they still had a cat. And I'm just like, haterade. And it was actually because of those friends that I ended up loving dogs the way I do. And this, like, dog that we used to take care of when I was a kid too. She was a border collie. But
oh, they're cute.
Dude, her name was Lady, and she was amazing. She was a dog face. And dude, she was a big dog face. And she would lay with me in my bed. It was awesome. But dude, anyway, fuck you guys, okay? All animal face Johnsons are good, okay? So shut up. But yeah, no, Nick's not here, so fuck you. We're doing Cardcaptor Sakura. Go to hell. Okay, top favorite Sakuga moments. And you're probably going, Som and Dannie, what's a Sakuga? This is what it is. It's a noun. It translates to the word uncountable. In Japanese animation, or anime, a sequence of noticeably higher quality used to highlight a particularly important scene, which you'll notice quite often. You know, like it's not like the same animators that work on every episode, you know what I mean? You know, like, for example, one of the first, in the first part of Naruto, there's the episode where Naruto and Sasuke fight, like, at the waterfall.
The
with
waterfall.
The two statues.
That is like such a iconic AMV scene that you saw all over on YouTube.
Yeah, and I can't remember the name of the animator, or the animators that worked on it, or the chief animation director who worked on it, but, like, that episode in particular, you know, obviously they made the fucking animation just amazing, right? And they used a lot of great techniques to show this really high-speed fight happening, and it was an important part of the series, right? So they had to show it, like, with this heightened animation. So that's what Sakuga more or less is. And so, like I said in the beginning, what I alluded to earlier, Danny's list, I feel like she wanted to showcase her favorite parts of... I think both of our lists showcase our favorite show stuff. Because every show I like is on mine, and every show that she likes is on hers, you know?
Yeah.
And it was way too hard. Like, I had, like, 20 moments in my head that I wanted to nail and talk about. So then I thought, okay, I need to narrow this down. And the easiest way to narrow it down for me was, okay, what are some of my favorite animation techniques I see in anime? And I'll try and find them within my favorite shows and talk about those. And then later I'll talk about, like if we ever do this episode again in the future, a couple months down the line, or, hopefully with Nick and a guest maybe or something, I don't know. I can showcase other stuff, But for now, I thought my list, for me personally, I wanted to like talk about some of my favorite techniques used in anime. But yeah. What about you, Danny? How did you try and curate your list?
It was hard, really. 'Cause I don't know. I kind of feel bad because I don't know any of the key animators who did these scenes. So unfortunately I can't give a lot of them credit. But I mean, to me, I didn't want to do I didn't really want to do a lot of fighting scenes because I feel like fighting scenes are definitely...
That's basically all I did.
That's
so
basically...
thank God.
That's literally that's what Sakuga is. And, I kind of wanted to bring to the table shows that it doesn't really involve action, but they have important scenes of for them that give the show that feeling that you feel.
Which thank God, because again, that's all mine. It's all action scenes.
Yeah. I do have some shows that have some fighting scenes in them, but Mother's Basement definitely put it, he used the right words. A Sakuga doesn't necessarily have to be, an action scene. It could be from a shoujo. It can be a shoujo from where character is confessing love to the other character. That kind of thing. He also mentioned an entire volleyball team crying while eating their food because they honestly had a huge loss, but to them that was their progress, because by losing you grow as a team as a whole. So that's kind of what I wanted to bring to bring this topic, was just not all fighting scenes and everything.
For sure. Okay.
And some transformation sequences and all that kind of stuff too.
Transformation sequences are super important.
Yeah.
They're super
and they're
important.
also enjoyable to watch.
Oh yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I get excited when I see Sailor Jupiter's transformation sequence. And I mean, the same thing with Sailor Moon's transformation sequences. Even all of them, not just one in particular, just all of them as a whole.
Yeah. Yep. Sailor Pluto, Sailor Uranus are the best Sailor Scouts. Don't argue with me. You're all a bunch of bitches. And fuck you. How about that? Dude, Danny, how about you go first? Let's do round table like how we always do.
Okay.
Just do it up, and you don't have to these are pretty simple. They're just, it's that one scene, so we don't have to go too much into them.
Yeah.
Slight spoilers though, just in case. Okay,
yeah,
some of these are
this is definite. I mean, my first one. I don't know if you want me to go, because I did for these. A couple of these, I did put a couple of scenes. So I don't know if you just want me to do one from each show, or do you want me to kind of briefly talk about all of them? I don't know how.
You know what I would say? You know what I would say? If you have a few that encompasses that's all from one show, I would say just talk about all of them at one time. And then we'll roundtable it that way. Okay. All 5 of my picks are all from different shows, so we're good there. But if you got, I do
have a couple that they're to me, they're definitely my favorite scenes
Yeah, dude, take it away. Go off.
Okay.
Go off.
Well, my first one, of course, is a no-brainer. It's from Fruits Basket, and it's mainly the 2019 readaptation.
Sure.
So,
Not that the Dean animation was super terrible. I mean, it wasn't
yeah,
the
I
best,
mean
but,
that one. I mean, the Studio Dean version was, I mean, definitely had its Sakuga moments too. So, and perfect
just
example.
the 2019 version is just way better.
It's,
Like,
I mean, let's be real here. Like, it's so much more prettier.
it really is. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
So, but one scene that I will say that both Studio Dean and TMS Entertainment did beautifully was Toru seeing Kyo's true form for the first time. You know, that whole scenario, it's not just one scene. I mean, it, you know, when you first see Kyo and
You're talking about like the whole event, yeah, like
the whole
yeah.
event, like from the beads coming off, like while Kazuma literally took his beads off. The moment there is a close up of Kyo's eye, and he's like he's kind of like in shock that, oh no, this is going to happen. Like his eye becomes more cat like. And you know, the steam coming off of Kyo's body as like he's in agony, and by transforming really. And then there's that one scene where Toru is in the rain and she's holding the umbrella, and her face is just in shock. So
I think there's a lot of good character acting in that whole event. Like,
yeah.
well, first of all, Fruits Basket 2019 has a lot of great character acting, animation sequences, but like that
both
one in
from
particular,
the sub version and dub version.
Yeah. Like voice wise, hell yes.
Yeah.
But even just like animation wise, character acting is like it's pretty decent. Like it's yeah. I mean, it has to be, right? Because it's
yeah.
But
and well, because there's so much drama that is going into, you know, just by this one family and the Soma family, and almost every single family member has skeletons in their closet. So, I mean, it every time I just hear the confession of like Momiji just explaining his story on why his mother doesn't know him and everything. And, you know, Momiji's dream to become a famous violinist and just have a private concert for his family. Like, oh man, that scene just of Momiji practicing in his room, and you just see the camera just going up, and the moonlight is shining on him and everything. It's just like my heart just breaks. Like I can't. Like I'm watching it right now on Sakuga Boro, so, and it's just I cry. So
yeah, very good.
Yeah. And then, I mean, one last scene that I did want to mention from Fruits Basket is the powerful moment when Toru falls off the cliff in front of Akito. Like,
God damn it.
I don't know about you, Sam, but when that happened, like, my jaw was just dropped. Like, I was just like...
It's funny, too, because you knew that was coming.
Yeah, well...
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to be honest. I actually forgot that happened.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's true. It's been a while since you read them. Yeah, so... Yeah.
So... man, I mean, and I feel like Fruits Basket is definitely a perfect example of non-action, like shonen action Sakuga. And there are I mean, I could go on about it too, so, but I'm not, because Nick will yell at us. But there's just so many good moments in Fruits Basket that now that I look back, yeah, like I could literally go on like some of the important moments in this show that define it.
It's that first part where the cliff first breaks for me.
Yeah.
The rest of it's okay, but like that part, was done pretty
The
good.
moment, like, and it's slow motion too, and it's definitely the moment when Toru is holding out her hand and says, let's start over. Hi, my name's Toru. What's your name? And then all of a sudden, that's it.
It does that little montage of like
Of like
her
her
and
hair
Akito
kind of
chilling
floating
and
up a little bit and she's
yeah.
falling back kind of thing. Um, yeah, like,
The part that hurts the most that I'm remembering now, it's like I shouldn't have watched it because I just hurt my own feelings. But like, it makes me think of the hospital scene after, and
oh, yeah.
Akito's like describing what it was like.
Yeah.
Toru
Yeah.
doesn't talk this whole episode because you don't see her, but like, he's like, oh, what did she say? And then Akito's just like, dude, I opened the door and the first thing she says is, oh, there you are, and was
Yeah.
happy to see me. And I'm like, oh my
I'm
fucking
getting
god.
goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps. God damn it. God damn it.
Imagine being that like compassion kind of a person. Jesus, God, it gets me every time. All right, what else you got? Because you have another one from Fruits Basket, don't you?
My last one is when Kyo confesses to Toru that he knew her mom. And
Oh,
yeah, and like he feels like it's her fault. It's his fault that Kyoko died because he could have saved her, but he was afraid to save her because he had this fear of, oh no, like what if I transform in front of all these people? So, yeah,
yeah,
that, like, I mean, even reading that too,
the twist, yeah.
like, I was just like, oh shit. Like, oh,
Ooh,
it's getting steamy.
yeah, dude. Fruits Basket is really good, and that's a really great adaptation of it. And the animation throughout the show is okay. It's decent for the most part, and then it has its moments where it's like, for pivotal moments, obviously, where it's like, okay, this is awesome, and it's just
Yeah.
miles better than the Dean version. Not that the Dean version is super terrible, because it's not.
Yeah,
but like,
yeah. I mean, we grew up on it, and it's excuse me. The Studio Dean one definitely put Fruits Basket on the map.
Yep.
So, and I mean, of course, like the manga definitely put it on the map. I mean, when it was releasing, at least in the US, like it was the number one shoujo romance in the US. So, yeah, it definitely, the Studio Dean and the manga definitely put Fruits Basket on the map, and that's why it's so popular for what it is. And I'm so happy that it deserves this popularity. Absolutely.
For sure. All right. Hell yeah.
So what do you got, Sam?
Yeah, okay. So every show on here, people are going to be like, oh, that's, of course Sam would pick that one. So just forewarning, okay? So, like, everyone take about 5 shots just right now because, every time Sam mentions the show, take a shot. But the first one, and the reason why is because, again, I wanted to showcase techniques I like. And so, I got really lucky because all the ones I found have the animators' names on them. So, on Sakuga Boru, sometimes you'll find a scene you really like and it says artist unknown because no one has figured out who did that cut yet. You know what I mean? Right now, I'm subscribed to a couple YouTube channels that break down like the steps of animation and you going from like from script to storyboard to key animation to in betweening to, you know what I mean? And there's different terms for each step and how it gets approved to the next step and things like that. And I'm learning a lot about that.
Can you send me
right
those YouTube channels? Because I definitely would want to watch some of that too.
I will, because, and especially because I want to do a topic on like, how animators get paid and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will. The videos I found were super cool. So, this one in particular, I think about a lot, mainly because number one is just a sweet moment, and number two, the effect animation in this is really good. And this is by the popular Yutaka Nakamura, famous for inventing the Utapon cubes if you will. The usage of Utapon cubes was popularized by Yutaka Nakamura, who often used them as he believed they were easy to draw, and it was inspired from the usage of effect by other animators, which being Satoru Utsunomiya. The Utapon cubes are like an effect where something breaks or debris happens, an explosion of debris happens, and it's a bunch of cubes. It just looks really fucking cool. And so this first one I picked was Midoriya versus Todoroki in the school festival in My Hero Academia. So I believe it's like season 2. It's like episode 9 or 10. I can't remember the episode number. But it's like the very final moment where Midoriya's pretty much broken every part of his body except for, one more arm. And Todoroki finally gets convinced to, like, because he's going to lose if he doesn't, because Midoriya just doesn't give up,
Mm-hmm.
And Todoroki is just like, okay, I'm going to use the fire side of my power, even though I didn't want to. And the reason being is because the moment where the moment where they power up, it's literally like it's nonstop Sakuga. From the moment they power up to the moment they come at each other to the climax where the explosion happens, it's just really amazing. And so, like, I think also the effect of when there's a part where Todoroki ignites his flame and his hand is being raised up, and it's like there's a lot of particle effects and wave motion effects that are happening that are animated in there, and blur effects and motion blurs and smears that are happening with his hand, because the wind coming at him is not only coming from the explosion of his fire, but it's also coming from Midoriya rushing at him like 50 miles per hour. And it's
I wish I liked this show.
I know, and I think you're kind of a busted for it.
This scene is kind of really cool. This scene is really cool, but I don't know. I couldn't get past the first 4 episodes.
I think the problem, honestly, Danny, is I think is that you are full of crap. It's like, that's, you know what I mean?
You.
This is like...
Fuck you, bitch.
But, like, yeah,
I see what you're saying, though. Like, I'm watching the clip right now. So, and it's definitely... I mean, I can't hear... Sakuga Boro doesn't add any audio to their clips, so I mean, I can't really hear what they're talking about because I can see that there's some lip flaps a little bit, but
yeah,
I can understand why this is a cool fucking scene, and you can kind of see like it's about to get serious, especially when he brings his hand up and Midoriya kind of flexes his arm and he's about to use like one of his powerful attacks and all that kind of stuff. So
it's badass. And this is at the time where like Midoriya his body can't handle it at all.
Yeah.
So like he's literally breaking his body to like win.
Yeah.
And the Utapon cubes happen at the very end where, because Cementos is one of the teachers, he can produce cement, and he's instructed to stop the fight, so he puts up like 5 concrete walls in between them, and they bust through it, and then it explodes everywhere. The Utapon cubes are also like in parts of the ice breaking as well. But yeah, I love it. The techniques, the smear techniques in this, and then the cubes are just like... But yeah, I like that one. I like it. I like that one a lot.
It's good.
Okay, what about you, Danny?
My next one is Haikyuu. This is another one that I kind of have a couple of them in one show. So one of them is actually the scene where Karasuno and Abojosai face in the finals, and the Abojosai's server, who is also their captain, he is like an ace spiker, and he does like a lot of ace serves and everything like that, and his name is Oikawa. He is nicknamed the King, I think, right? think he's the king. I can't remember right now. A fake fan, right, for a second.
Fake fan.
But Oikawa is a setter, and he's a very skilled setter. However, when there's just a couple of those moments where he's ready to serve, and the first time it happens in nationals, you can just see the ball like really just sink into the floor, and then it pops up really fast. Unfortunately, I don't know the animator who did it, but it's I'm really surprised that you don't watch like Haikyuu at least, because I feel like there's a lot of like kind of hold your breath moments until it actually happens.
Right. No, I told myself I was going to start it when I was finished with Hunter x Hunter. I'm only like about halfway with Hunter x Hunter, so it's like, but yeah, like
hurry up.
Yeah.
But another another moment that I really think that really sets the tone for Haikyuu is when Karasuno loses to Awa Josai, but the coaches and the teachers all go back to their hometown, and they go to this restaurant, and they kind of celebrate their victory, even though they lost, you know. But to them, you know, reaching the finals like that is still a victory for them. So, and the coach, I think it was the coach, or it was the teacher, but they made a speech on, you know, just chin up, it's okay, we'll just keep on training, and you know, we'll go to nationals next year, and so like eat up. And as the boys just reach for their food, you can just see tears rolling down all their faces and everything like that. And that was just such a powerful moment. And I actually have the animator for this one, and this one is Masashi Andu. Did I pronounce that right, Som?
Where do you have their name listed? Sorry.
I put it there's the Sakuga Boru link under Karasuno Team Cry. Yeah.
Oh, I see it. Okay. Yep. Masashi Ando.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they've done like movie stuff. Like a lot of movie stuff, you know, so that's pretty sick.
Yeah. So that I feel like is definitely an important scene for not only for the whole show, but for the team, because like, yeah, they lost, but you know, it's okay. And one last scene that I think was just, this show is getting better and better, is when Tanaka finally breaks through and gets a score against Inarizaki, which is a very powerhouse team. And I mean, throughout that whole to the top second part, Tanaka was just getting bullied by Inarizaki. All his spikes were getting blocked and everything. He even told he suggested that they stopped setting him up serves. But they're all like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, you're a part of this team. Like, we need you. So, and in that moment, there's like a couple of scenes where it's just, it has like that cross-hatching, jaggedy edge.
Yeah, I was going to say, a lot
animation.
of that, it looks like a few of these scenes, it looks like every time they are going for like a really crazy spike, they do that.
Yeah, or even a block too. They do that for blocking as well. So
yeah, and it's not every time they spike, but like when it's like a really cool moment, which I think I don't know the name of the technique, but yeah, like they rough up the edges and do like these cross hatching marker shades on the body to make it like, really rough and fast.
I feel like that's just what's so edgy about it and everything, and it's great. So I love watching Haikyuu. Like I feel like I'm there watching them play, and I'm just rooting for my boys. So
I think that's what's part of it is like that's part of like that the use of that technique is to make it look. It makes it look fast while going in slow motion. You know what I mean? It's like it's kind of cool. Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
What do you got now?
So you have a couple. Oh, you have a couple Sailor Moon ones.
I do. I don't have a couple. I mean, I have like one.
You have like 5 of them on here.
I can't help it. I'm sorry. It's only 3. It's only 2 of us.
I'm gonna do a couple of mine. You can do a couple
more. Yeah.
I'll do 2 of mine, and then okay. So that way it's not like it evens out a little. Okay.
Yeah, because my my last 2 shows I only have 1, so it's fine.
So this next one is a few animators who worked on it, and there Yutaka Nakamura is one of them. So there's Utapon cubes at the end of this one too. But it's the fight scene between Mob and Koyama from season 1 of Mob Psycho 100.
This is another show I never watched.
God.
I'm sorry.
Well, I haven't seen Haikyuu yet, so. But I mean, like, yeah, like, my favorite parts of my favorite parts of a lot of stories are when the good guy just like loses his shit or loses or the protagonist loses their shit, his or her their shit. They're just like, okay, I've had enough, and I can no longer control my urge to put you in the fucking ground. You know what I mean? Like, that's my favorite shit. And so,
that actually, honestly, I mean, that's kind of the same way how I feel with Haikyuu, like, because there are kind of those like gifted, talented teen members, so I can relate in a different way on what you're talking about.
Just like going to the next level, right? Like they're just like, okay, like let's fucking do this,
Yeah.
And so Toshi Yuki Sato did a few of the cuts, or did a lot of the cuts at the beginning of that fight. And there's one part in particular where Koyama realizes, okay, fuck, what the hell happened here? So then he tries to charge at Mob, and Mob just stops him with his hand by grabbing his face. And you have to imagine like how much that hurts, because the way they animated it was like he was charging at him at like 2 times speed, right? And then fucking you get stopped by a hand clenching your mouth. And so
it looked like Mob was just like about to pinch a grape.
Yeah, that's literally what it was like.
Like he's squeezing a grape.
And it's also the camera work too, because the camera goes right to left. It kind of makes it look like, okay, he's going really fast and then stop right here.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Yutaka Nakamura does the part where he lifts him up through the building, and there's a lot of great usage of like there's the cubes happening when
they hit the ground.
When they hit the ground and hit the building. Mm-hmm. And then a lot of those like shine explosion fire particle moments that we saw in the previous clip I talked about from My Hero happen right here when Mob is like, when they go through that first part of the rooftop part of the building. Yeah. And it's just like, this also has, right at the very end, this has like, you see
the glass, Mob. Yeah. Well, I was going to say the glass shattering too kind of has the cubes.
Yeah, the glass shattering is really fucking cool. And there's a lot of that cross-hatching happening with the rough edges happening right at the very end where Mob is like standing up right after slamming him into the ground, And this makes use of a lot of like that rough, kind of marker look as like the light is becoming more and more prominent and like blinding you, what I mean? Blinding the viewer, so they kind of fade out into the light. And it's just amazing. And the parts of the building that are melting like the vents, coming out of the building.
Mm-hmm,
The way
mm-hmm.
they melt right at the beginning of that is just like, oh god, so good. But yeah, I love Yutaka Nakamura's like, I love all their stuff. The next one I'll talk about is because I had to have a Sushio one on here. Sushio is one of my favorite artists. They did what we recently talked about on Star Wars Visions. They did the Twins short. Yeah. So, but I wanted to find something that was Sushio that wasn't Studio Trigger.
Yeah.
So, and the reason why I like this one in particular is because of the character acting animation in it. And that is the scene from Fooly Cooly where Naota's yelling at Mamimi, and he's like, "I'm gonna save you, not my brother, not so and so, me. I'm gonna save you." And he yells for Kanti, and Kanti just comes rushing down. And for me, it's the camera work. It's also the way Naota's face is animated when he's yelling.
Yeah. Mm-hmm,
But the camera work really sells this because, like, it shows how dangerously high up they are, and it shows how hard and how fast Kanti slams into the thing they're on, which is, I think they're on top of the robot on this one.
Yeah.
But it really shows, like, the size difference between
Kanti and
Naota.
Yeah.
And it's really amazing. It's so good. And the part where Kanti's chewing him up.
He's eating him.
You see like the slobber
Yeah.
like kind of flailing around is animated super nicely, and you can just tell it's Sushio. And of course, like, people are gonna be like, "Oh, of course, I'm Studio Trigger, blah blah blah." But this is before Studio Trigger, and I thought it was kind of cool to showcase something that he did outside of Studio Trigger. So yeah, I love that a lot. I just love Sushio mostly, but Fooly Cooly, because it's only 6 episodes, like, the animation in each episode is just really top notch. So more than I can say for its, like, sequels that they made, I guess. But
which
I
one?
love it.
Which one was it? Was it Progressive that we kind of favored over Alternative, or was it Alternative that we favored more over? I know I didn't really like the one with the girl with the cat eared headphones. I didn't really care for that one too much.
Alternative is the one with the 4 friends, and Progressive is the one with the girl with the cat ears, the headphones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Alternative was better. Yeah, definitely. Which, like, Alternative had some fucking crazy, like, awesome animated moments in it too. Just definitely not as good as I think Takahashi did. Like, Yuichi Takahashi did some of them, which I don't know too much about what they've done. I think they did Bleach and some other stuff. I don't know. I've seen their name a few times, but I don't know all the stuff they've done. But yeah, like, Alternative is better. Yeah, Progressive is Progressive sucks. Just don't watch it. But anyway, yeah, dude. And then, okay, Danny, yeah, you go ahead and do your next one, and then I'll do my next 2, and then you cap it. You cap it at the end. Yeah.
Okay. So my next one is from Sailor Moon. I'm going to say Sailor Pluto.
Everyone take a shot.
What? So Sailor Pluto's transformation sequence is definitely one of my favorites out of all of the girls. However, I did watch Sailor Stars with Kai and a couple of his friends. And I am going to change my mind and say I think the Sailor Starlight's transformations are just so cool.
People sleep on the Sailor Starlights. Let's be serious.
They
get slept on because people
They
don't know.
do.
You know?
They- and
we
they
gotta
don't.
you gotta educate people. Then you gotta tell them.
Well, so the Sailor Starlights, I mean, now people are able to watch it because it's finally got released here. But back then, the final season of Sailor Moon wasn't aired in the US because the Sailor Starlights as their civilian forms, they are represented as males. But when they transform into the Sailor Starlights, they are represented as women. So, and the transformations for them show their masculine physique transforming into a female physique. And I think that's just awesome. I think that's
Which,
cool.
like, even in their Starlight forms, they still have like a kind of athletic build, which is really sick.
Yeah.
And it kind of blurs the gender lines a little bit, and that was being done back in the, fuck your gender, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, if Nick were here right now, he'd be like, whatever.
I'm Nick.
There's only 5 genders as far as I know. Nick is like actually really gender woke, but he'll be like, no, there's only 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah.
JK, no, he's not like that. But no, like, yeah, no, for real. Like, the Sailor Starlights are sick, dude.
Yeah. Seiya is my favorite. I like Seiya.
Which one's Seiya again?
Seiya is the one with the long black hair and kind of has like a romantic relationship with Usagi.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm all about silver hair waifu, You know how I gotta do.
You need to watch the show before you have an opinion on
yeah, I haven't seen any of that part. Like, I don't remember.
The other
I haven't
two,
seen, like, the last 2-3 seasons.
I'm going to say Seiya is definitely the best one out of the 3. The other 2 are just fucking sourpusses. Like, they are such negative Nancy's. It's not even funny. But they eventually do get, like, the redemption later on in the end.
Gotcha.
And since we're talking about the Starlights, there is this one scene. I don't know the artist, but it's one scene where the Starlights, Sailor Moon and the other Sailor Guardians are fighting Sailor Galaxia. But Sailor Galaxia is just like too powerful, and Usagi is kind of scared that she might not be able to defeat Sailor Galaxia. So the Starlights join in on the fight, and there's just this one scene where all 3 of them are kind of rising, and there's just like electricity static kind of thing. And then it pans out into, and it's kind of like I'm watching it, and it's kind of like that strobe light kind of animation in the beginning, and then it pans out to Usagi kind of like having a shocked face, and then another sequence goes into where all the Starlights are kind of just like running towards Galaxia. It's a scary scene in my opinion, and it's also a pretty epic scene too, because you don't know if the Starlights are going to defeat Sailor Galaxia. So it's a pretty heavy moment. There's
a lot of intercutting, like fast intercutting, like kind of like the strobe light effect, like you said.
Yeah.
Where they're cutting to show like that something is flashing or charging. It's like they're charging up real quick to like rush at her. It's super cool.
Yeah. So, but I mean, honestly, all of like the special powerful attacks that all the Guardians do, I think honestly my favorite one is Dead Scream that Sailor Pluto does. Fight me on it. I don't care what you think. Like, that one's my favorite.
The Dead Scream attack is 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's so sick.
I mean, I do like Sailor Ernest's attack.
Earth shaking,
Earth shaking or world shaking.
World shaking. I think world shaking sounds a little cooler.
I think it's world shaking. I'm not sure. But I mean, honestly, to me, I think all the outer Sailor Guardians abilities are definitely the coolest ones. And it shows. Although I do really enjoy when I forgot. It's when Sailor Moon has her kaleidoscope, and also this is in the original one, not in the Eternals. It kind of pans where it shows where she's charging up her kaleidoscope to defeat an enemy, and there's kind of like three screens on one screen, where the top one is like just Usagi's eyes, and then the bottom one is a more kind of like pan out, like medium size Usagi. It's not like a close up. And then the other one is just like a far away shot of like her full body, and you can see kind of like the wind being like blown towards Usagi. So
Badass.
yeah, that's all
I
I
need to
got.
rewatch Sailor Moon, dude.
Yeah, I gotta watch it.
How many times have you seen it?
I at least like 5 episodes. I probably watched maybe like 20 times when I was a kid. Because I have the DVD.
Yeah. I feel that.
So
Okay.
anyway, okay, what are yours?
So my last two, I can't find. There's a few things from the Wit days of Attack on Titan that I like. Now it's being done by Studio Mappa, but when it was being done by Studio Wit, it was off the goddamn chain.
Oh yeah. I feel like
And
Wit Studio definitely their animation is just so good.
they and I don't think the way Mappa's doing it is bad, because Mappa's really good also, but like it just kind of sucks. I mean, like the way Mappa's doing it is fine, but it almost seems just a tiny bit of a downgrade. Some people would argue that it's a big downgrade, but there's in part 2 of season 1 of Attack on Titan, there's a scene where the scene where they're hunting down the female Titan, because they're like, oh, she was spotted in the forest, like,
Right.
So,
Yeah, I remember.
and Mikasa's chasing her. And I can't imagine seeing the female Titan CG animated. Just seeing her 2D animated like this is way better.
Yeah.
I know that, and this might be spoilers, but I know we'll see Annie's Titan again. So we'll see how they do her in the Mappa, at the end there. But just this scene is one of the many scenes where they make the 3D maneuver gear just look super sick.
Yeah.
And another scene that was done by Mappa that I wanted to do was Levi fighting the Beast Titan, Grisha Jaeger. Or not Grisha, but Zeke Jaeger. And that scene was badass, because that's when Zeke realizes who Levi is. He's like, oh, wait, this is Levi. And he's just getting cut the fuck up. That one was really sick. And I couldn't find it. I found it's on YouTube, obviously, but I wanted to find the staff who did it, because that person was amazing, and I needed to find out more about them.
Yeah.
But the person who did this one, who did a lot of the chase scenes in these forest episodes, was Akira Hamaguchi. And Akira Hamaguchi has done a lot of cuts here and there for a bunch of different stuff. I don't know everything they've done, but I know they've done a couple of Pokemon cuts, Fairy Tail. Just clicking on their name on Sakuga Boru, I can see they've done a lot of. They've been around for a long time. So, but yeah, that cut in particular really shows off the 3D maneuver gear really amazingly. So, the last one I have, because I had to do it, was by Naoyuki Kono, and it's from Martian's Successor Nadesco. And so Naoyuki Kono has done like a bunch of stuff from back then. More famously, they've done cuts for the Cyborg 009 2001 version. I love Cyborg 009. I think they were like a permanent staff on that show. I don't know if they've done a few things, but they've also done worked on the opening animation
they did a scene from Tiger and Bunny.
That makes sense because Studio Zebek. So like because the scene I was going to talk about was Akira Tankawa and the Estivales fighting a bunch of Jovian drones from Nadesco. And Nadesco is also Studio Zebek. So
okay,
like
cool. Yeah. That
So
makes
I mean
sense.
I think he was, I don't know if he was a staff at Zebek or just like a favorite animator at Zebek or what. But this makes the Naoki Kano, he uses a lot of very famous techniques from animators before him in just this one scene alone, and it's amazing. He does kind of like the road grind, kind of a little ode to the road grind from from Akira. There's a lot of smearing happening when Akito's doing when Akito launches the hand shot, the rocket to punchy, and
Rocket to punchy.
it also utilizes the Itano spread, which if you don't know what the Itano spread is, just YouTube it or look it up on Sakuga Boru. The Itano spread was made famous by Ichiro Itano, who is famous for inventing the missile spread or the Macross Missile Massacre, which is like a flurry of missiles all going in a curved motion centering in on one target. And sometimes you can use that missile spread to like spread across a line of targets, so it goes in kind of a line. But if you just YouTube Macross Missile Massacre or the Itano spread or the Itano missile spread, you'll see that in this scene in particular, because Akito is, a lot of these Jovian drones have mini missiles in their backs, about 2 uses worth. So like there's a part where Akito grabs 2 of the drones and he blocks like a whole spread of missiles with those 2 drones and throws them at like the rest of them, and the explosions like kind of backfire, and it's super sick. And this is really good mecha animation, number one. And I can't remember the fucking name of the mecha designer, so like shame on me, fake fan. But like the mecha designer did so well to design it in a way where you could animate these Estivales in a way where it was like it looks like humans fighting, and I think that's what made the fucking, that's one of my favorite parts about Nadesco is the mecha parts of it, obviously. But they're also somewhat transformable. So Naoki Kano just did a really good fucking job of utilizing a few of my favorite techniques in one scene. And he's very good at doing smeary stuff like that, which is another reason why I think he did so good on Cyborg 009, because in Cyborg 009, 009's superpower is to like go super fast, right? By clicking his teeth. So it's just like, he'll click his teeth, everything like slows down and just shoom, 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 pew, pew, and kill you 5,000. So like, I don't know, fucking dope in my opinion. But yeah, I had to do it to him. Everyone take another shot for me mentioning Nadesco. Fuck you. Nadesco's a great show.
So I remember when you first started talking about Nadesco, and I did start watching it, but I never finished it.
Fuck you.
I'm sorry.
Fuck you, dude. No, I get it. I just like it because like the comedy in it is pretty funny, and the romance in it is really good. And I don't know, it's just like, it's one of those mecha shows. It's one of those sci-fi shows that has like a good blend of everything. But yeah, like, no, I get it. It's fine. You suck. It's fine.
I love you.
Love you too. Okay, what do you got for your last few?
My last 2, one is gonna be Cardcaptor Sakura. Surprise, surprise.
Everyone take a shot.
I know, like literally this whole list is all like everyone take a shot. They all said what they were going to say. But one scene in particular that really gets me is definitely early on when Sakura is collecting the Clo cards. And one scene in particular is when she discovers Watery at the aquarium. So, and of course she's wearing that super cute, adorable, like nymph, costume with the little like pigtailed hat and everything. She looks like a little elf. I love it.
That's like the best part about that show is her friend making
all her
Tomio
costumes.
making,
Making
all the different
it's
costumes.
Great. But the one scene that is definitely really powerful for me is when Sakura's running through the aquarium and she's trying to get to the like water part on where she saw or sensed the Clo card, and them just trying to figure out how to get Watery out of the little aquarium, and just the swirl of the water and everything like that is so great. And also the fact where she like kind of runs away and like leads Watery into the freezer so that she can freeze Watery in order to capture the card. And the key animator who did that was Masahide I hate butchering these freaking names. I need to learn Japanese more better. Masahide Yanagisawa.
Oh, that was perfect. You did it right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
There was a few animators who did this whole event, but yeah, like this, that part where she's running, especially.
Oh, the first, in the beginning.
Great running animation, pretty deep, like great running. And then fucking Tomio filming her, like
yeah, she's all like running with her and is all like, "Oh, I have to get this scene."
Yeah. But yeah, this is pretty decent, and this is back in the 90s, you know, so like it's
late 90s,
it's really good.
yeah. And but like at the end where like she's in front of the freezer, she uses Eri to kind of open up the door and pretty much using the air to freeze Watery is just really, really cool. So Yanagisawa did a lot of like Sailor Moon sequences too. So
he's like used to doing magical shit like this. I mean,
yeah.
Again, it's also really hard. It's also the part where, because they had to animate. I'm sorry, I don't know if they're.
I don't know.
I don't know their gender.
I don't know their gender either.
Yeah, Yanagisawa. They had to basically make water come to life, so they had to animate it kind of like it was like slime chasing her, I guess, kind of.
Yeah, it kind of looks like slime in a way. Yeah.
But it's still you can very much still tell it's water. You know what I mean? But it's the way they did it, especially that right into that part where they're going down the stairs. Mm-hmm. And Tomio opens the door and it's like, here you go down the stairs. And,
yeah.
And then right at the end there, she summons the air, and it's just like super cool.
I found another.
I don't know what that ribbon effect is called, but that's another technique that I think is super cool. The ribbony.
Parts to make it look like kind of like flowy, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like ribbons intertwining with each other, and then that's when Watery like takes a form, and it's like, oh.
It's like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's. I mean, that whole show is fun to look at. But my last one, Sam, you can definitely help me with this one for sure. So. Yeah,
because this is one of the ones I excluded, but like, because I in favor of other ones, but this.
My last one, this one was, oh shit.
Yeah.
It's from Jujutsu Kaisen, and it's pretty much the first episode, right? It's in the very first episode or the second one.
Right. So it has like, as being the first episode, it has that job to kind of like,
This
do
is
a
what
good
you're
job
gonna
and
get.
make
This is the show.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's when Itadori is or trying to battle, or they finish battling the monsters or ghost spirits, whatever you want to call them, and
Curse spirits, yeah.
Gojo tells Itadori, "Hey, I know you swallowed that finger, but can you let Sukuna like take over your body for like 10 seconds?" And Itadori did, and just literally just the whole scene of, when Gojo is telling Megumi, like, no, those are like souvenirs. And then you see in the background Sukuna about to attack Gojo. And then there's just, like, this smoke or whatever. And it goes to a scene with Sukuna's red eye. And then it goes to another scene with Gojo literally sitting on his back. Like,
Yeah.
it's like a very pinnacle moment on. It's like, this
part
dude
where
is a
Gojo-
badass.
Yeah, this is right after the part where Gojo does his like stretch. He's like, "Don't worry, I'm really strong. I got it."
Yeah, yeah. Like he had, like you can just tell that Gojo in the beginning is such a like laid back jokester. Like he does not take anything serious at all.
He's like, "It's fine."
Yeah, it's like whatever.
And I think also Gojo, like, I mean, Gojo does say that he is stronger than Sukuna later. But I also think that he also like double went lax on this because he knew it wasn't Sukuna's actual body.
Right.
It was in a kid's body, so he thought, oh, it'll be fine. You know?
Well, not only that, it like Itadori only swallowed at that time only one finger. So
the one finger,
like even though Sukuna at that moment seemed super powerful, but he wasn't at like his top like ultimate power kind of thing.
I think for me, it's the camera work, the way they storyboarded the scene.
Oh yeah,
It was perfect for, like, let's say, okay, we're on a school rooftop, right? So like, we have to. They wanted to make, at least this is what my thought process would have been. I'm just guessing of how they tried to work it out, was like, looking at the manga panels, right? They wanted to make it so like the camera was like riding the rails a little bit of the rails of the rooftop, like the guard, the roof guard, the rail guard.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of cool that way. The angles are really sweet. The camera shakes at the perfect moment, at the perfect moments. And Sayaka Koiso just did a really great job on just like pacing everything so you could see everything. It wasn't too like blurry, shaky camera bullshit.
Yeah,
it was like, no, I can see that Sukuna's punching right here. I can see he's doing a flip kick right here, like a taekwondo, like tornado, like a crack shot by Terry Bogard, kind of. Sayaka Koiso does a lot of Jujutsu Kaisen stuff, and she is just really fucking amazing. She did that.
They did some. She did some Fairy Tail and Gintama as well.
The fight scene she did with Mahito and Itadori.
Yeah.
When it was like Itadori and Nanami versus Mahito. That scene was tops when Mahito's like in the tornado or in the dust, and it's, oh my god, so good. Like, great choice. God damn it, so fucking good. It's so good. I love Jujutsu Kaisen, and
I can't wait for the second season.
I can't wait for the movie, the Zero movie.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
But yeah, very great choice. Yeah, dude. Fucking, I'm gonna look in more Sayaka Koiso's work because I just love that. That first episode is just really good. It does a very good job of going, this is the kind of shonen that you're gonna watch, and this is the kind of character Gojo is, and it's gonna be really fucking funny.
Yeah.
And it turns out that Gojo is just a complete clown, and it's so good. But
he's a very hot clown, though.
He is a very sexy clown. Fucking Danny in the corner, like at a circus, and the clown's like in the middle of the stage, and she's like, "Wow, what a fucking hot clown!
What a hottie!"
Look at that big red nose, and his name is Bonkers. Oh my god!
All right. I think think that's it.
Oh man. Anyway, yeah, dude. And here's the thing, it was really hard. I just got really lucky with all the ones I picked because I was able to find the names of all of them, and I only knew about 3 of these animators. The other ones I didn't know as well, and it was only in recent years that I started like remembering and following the names of them as I do with like, painters and digital artists I like. So.
Yeah.
And
I need to
too
do better at that. I will admit that I'm terrible at that.
and like another thing too is like, and like I said like I was alluding to in the beginning of the episode, is like, you don't really need to know the names. If you like a scene and it looks cool to you, I think that's awesome. For me personally, it's just like I just want to see everything they've done, because it's so cool to me. Like, especially Naoki Kano. Like I love that they utilized. It's like he was trying to bring the mecha genre back with Nadesco, or trying to bring it back to the top, where at that time it was already it was starting to kind of go down a little bit, I think. But that being said, I think I forgot to say this in the beginning of the episode, but we were trying to avoid doing movies or OPs or EDs, because obviously like movie has a bigger budget, OVAs have a bigger budget, and like OPs and EDs, the Sakuga has to be good because they're supposed to make you want to watch the show.
Yeah, and that what kind of what makes you want, and also represents the show, because that's whether there's like a scene and then the OP, or typically it's just the OP that first starts. So the OPs are definitely like an important Sakuga moment.
They're supposed to be really good. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like they're supposed to be spend a lot of time on them, so to get you excited. So we thought it wouldn't be fair, because then like our whole list would just be OPs. Yeah. But like, that's what our favorite OPs episodes are for. So, that being said, let us know some of your favorites Sakuga moments, and feel free to educate us on like other techniques that we may not have mentioned, or things that you like, techniques that you like that are really amazing. That being said, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I really hope. And I feel bad. I should have asked Nick if we should have delayed this one, because I really wanted Nick to be on this one. But like, I told Nick to do a solo cast, or something, or maybe we can do one where it's just movies.
Ooh,
and then Nick, that would be cool.
And then Nick could be a part of that. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he's going on vacation. So, but that being said, wow. way to enjoy your life. Why don't you? What are you, a square? What are you, a nerd? Well, I'm Nick. I'm gonna go enjoy my life. Okay, dude. Good for you. JK, dude. But no, yeah, I love you guys very much. We love you very much, and I'll always love you just the way you are. Thanks for listening every week. I've been Som, that's been Danny, and this has been the Anime Summit Podcast.
Merci.
Podcast, see? You knew what I was doing. You got it.
I know.